Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the SWUS NBA Finals Game 3. Boston is on the road in Dallas. I'll go through it in this video. Then we'll go through every game on the board on the live show. That's tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time. If you're able to make it, we'd love to see you in the comments. Boston, Dallas, Game 3. Let's go.
Welcome to the SWUS. The SWUS. SWUS. Hey, get the SWUS.
All right, like I said, we got Celtics at Mavs. Celtics are up 2-0, obviously. Mavs are laying 2.5 points here in Game 3 at home. Total sitting at 212.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. And according to the model, we should see a 3-point Celtics win. Final score 111-109, or a 2-point Celtics win, I'm sorry. 111-109 Boston. Injuries and inactives, and we'll start with Boston. And a big one here. Kristaps Porzingis is on the report. He's listed as questionable. He tore something... I'll put it on the screen exactly what he tore. It was something I never heard of. But he's on the injury report, listed as questionable. We'll have to wait and see with him. On the other side, we got Luka Doncic on the report. He's listed as probable. As we know, he's been dealing with injuries this whole playoff, so that's not anything new. Obviously, we all imagine Luka Doncic is going to play in this game. All right, so let's take a look at this matchup. Obviously, we know Boston took the first two games at home in Boston. Final score was 107-89 and 105-98. Dallas did push in the second game. I got a Dallas +7, which was a push. I'll take it. So what happened in this series? What's going on so far? Well, the thing that jumps out at me the most is the lack of offense from Dallas. You can see in the first three rounds of the playoffs, they had a 115.2 offensive rating. It's down at 100 in these two NBA Finals games. Effective field goal percentage goes from 54.7% to 48.5% in the two NBA Finals games, and assist to turnover ratio is way down as well. The offense just isn't working for Dallas, and you're thinking, oh, that's just a testament to how good Boston is defensively. I mean, maybe, but they just played Minnesota, who's the #1 defense in the NBA. And before that, they played Oklahoma City, which is the #4 defense in the NBA. So it's not like Dallas didn't see any tough defenses on the path here. I mean, they saw two top 4 defenses. One was the #1 defense, and the offense was fine. Or I'm not going to say fine and go off, but the offense was able to function and score efficiently. It's not what we saw here in the first two games of this series. And you know what? Let's pull up those same exact splits for the Boston Celtics defense. Let's give them some credit. They've been playing great defense in the entire playoffs, but they've kicked it up a notch. In the first three rounds of the playoffs, the Boston Celtics had a 108.7 defensive rating, which is great, but now it's down at 100. Allowing just 100 points per 100 possessions is excellent. Boston defense showed up in a major way in the first two games of this series, which brings the question, and this is the first question I wanted answered. Is Boston forcing Dallas to take contested shots, or are the Mavs missing open shots? That's a good place to start. And the answer is Dallas is missing a lot of open shots. Check this out. In the NBA Finals, so the first two games of this series, the Dallas Mavericks have taken 47 wide open three-point attempts. And what a wide open three-point attempt is, according to NBA Advanced Stats, is 4 feet or more of space. So they've taken 47 of these attempts in the first two games. They've made just 11 of them. 23.4%. Dallas is shooting wide open attempts, which is obviously terrible, but it could be a good sign for Dallas. It shows that there's some room for regression. Sometimes the shots just aren't falling. Back at home, shots start falling. All of a sudden, Dallas can get back in this series. Another good sign for Dallas as they are 3-0 in this spot in these playoffs so far. Game 3 at Dallas. All 3 series. Game 3 was at Dallas. They're 3-0. 3-0 against the spread. So here we are, same spot again. Game 3, traveling back to Dallas. So this first game of the series at Dallas, they're 3-0, going for 4-0. So there's definitely some angles there I like for the Mavericks. But there's also some angles here that I like for Boston. First of all, I pulled up the wide open shooting numbers for Dallas in the first two games. Boston's just 24 of 69 when we're talking about wide open three-point shots, 34.8%. So there's room for them to improve in that department also. And you know what? Let's pull up the shooting numbers for the entire playoffs for Boston. First 3 rounds of the playoffs, they shot 48% from the floor, 36.8% from 3. In the NBA Finals so far, 46.4%, 32.1%. So there's room for Boston to improve in the shooting department as well, which I don't love. If we're going to sit here and be like, oh, Dallas should shoot better. Well, you know what? Boston might shoot better also. Also, we should mention that the Boston Celtics haven't lost a road game this entire playoffs. They're a perfect 6-0 with a plus 11.4 net efficiency, which is best in the playoffs by far. And we're talking about Kristaps Porzingis potentially not playing. I mean, he's shooting 46.4% from the floor, 13.5 points per game, 5 rebounds per game. He blocked some shots in this finals, but as a whole, Boston's done a lot of their work without him in these playoffs. And I mean, on the year, you can't really see much of a difference. Obviously, Porzingis is a huge piece, and I'm not saying he doesn't matter. But on the season, Boston with Porzingis is 43-14. They're averaging 120.1 points per game. They're allowing 109.1 points per game. Without Porzingis, they're 21-4, so a better winning percentage. They average more points per game and give up about the same points per game. So I don't know if Porzingis being out is necessarily a dagger. I mean, we saw them play an entire series without him. I think they'll be fine. So as a whole, there's definitely strong points on both sides here. But then we go to historical trends, and this is where it's starting to look like Dallas might be the play. So as of right now, I'm like 50-50, right? And then you look at this. Since 2003, home favorites in Game 3 that are down 0-2 in the series. So teams that drop the first 2 games of the series, then come home and are still made favorites in that game. 62-28 straight up, 53-35-2 against the spread. Same exact trend, but applied only to the NBA Finals since 2003. They're a perfect 6-0, 3-2-1 against the spread. So historically, this would be a spot to bet Dallas, and I'm going to roll with it. I'm taking the Mavs. I expect the shooting to regress in a major positive way for the Mavs. Yeah, Boston can shoot better also, but no Porzingis. Dallas gets back home, gets it done. They win the rebounding battle, which has been pretty much dead even in this series back home. They win the rebounding battle. I like it. I'm laying the 2.5. Give me the Mavs minus 2.5. As far as the total, I guess I'd lean under, but definitely not placing a bet on the total. I'm taking Dallas minus 2.5. That's it. Like I said earlier, live show, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time for MLB day games, MLB night games, NBA Finals, and WNBA at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. If you're able to make it, we'd love to see you in the comments. If you want my top bets or top bets from anyone on the staff here, want to join the Discord, or want to get in on the betting league, head over to KyleKirms.com and sign up for Sauce Network Plus. All the information's on the website. Let's have ourselves a nice Wednesday. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, my Tuesday turned around. Actually, since I've been recording this, the Tigers took the lead, which is huge for me. That's my top bet tonight. So hopefully Tigers hung on. Yeah, let's have ourselves a good Wednesday. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you in the Discord.